RosterWatch Nation, what is going on? I am Cody Carpentier. You can find me on Twitter at Carpentier NFL. We made it. We made it to Sunday. This is week 10, November 12th. I hope you guys had a fantastic Friday. Hope you had a fantastic Saturday. And I hope you are potentially sitting on the couch right now watching the Colts and Patriots game as Jonathan Taylor started out with 13 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. That's exciting. You got a lot of carries, 13-1 over Zach Moss in the first half. Only has 42 yards, 3.2 per carry, but he scores a touchdown in that one. And then to close out the half, we get our main man, Pop Douglas, on a little pop screen that he gets 30 yards on. He had 2 receptions for 15 yards going into that. Bang, 30 yards right before half on a complete garbage reception to close the half out. But we're here. And we're live. We're here to answer any questions that you have for this beautiful Sunday slate. I was live yesterday on SiriusXM Channel 87. If you'd like to go back and watch that show or listen to that show, you can do that over at SiriusXM. We talked through all 10 games on this main slate, from the Browns to Ravens, Texans and Bengals, Niners and Jags. I think I'm starting to come around on this slate. I think it's going to be a little bit better than I initially expected. I think this Niners-Jaguars game is going to be fantastic. Lions-Chargers this afternoon should be good. 2 teams that have had their hiccups, but the Lions, of course, have only had really one hiccup against the Ravens, but should be a good game, as well as the Vikings 5-4 against the Saints 5-4. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, we do get Will Levis going down to Tampa Bay against a team that just allowed 470 yards to C.J. Stroud. So if you do have a question, I appreciate you. Put that bad boy in the comment section, and I'll get to it over the course of the next hour. I will answer any and all questions as usual. And if I don't get to it, which I will, you can go on over to rosterwatch.com and you can add that question to one of the couple of articles that are up on the ticker right now, and we will get those things answered before the 1 p.m. kickoff for you guys. Also, you can go check out patreon.com/executives for rankings, the Cuck score, our cornerstone rankings for the 2024-2025 class, and all things of that sort, as well as the best bets of the week. All right, let's get into these questions. We appreciate you guys for always tapping in here on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Thank you. Matt Cassidy from the RIP. Man, this guy has been here every single week. So I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you, Matt Cassidy, for tapping in every single week. Oh, yeah, here we go. RosterWatch Nation, week 10 is here. What is going on? I'm doing fine, brother. I appreciate you as always. Big Meech, half PPR. He says, are we going Devin Singletary or are we going with Kareem Hunt at the running back position? This one, especially at PPR, I'm leaning towards Singletary because we saw last week him run, I think it was 26 routes, and he only had 2 targets because all of them went to Dalton Schultz. They went to Noah Brown. They went to Nico. They went to Tank Dell. But very few times in your life will you see a guy like a running back run 24, 26 routes, get targeted twice. I think this game against Cincinnati Bengals, the cornerbacks are on a different tier than they were last week for Tampa, and I think that you're going to see these wide receivers, especially with no Nico, get a little more clamped. Not clamped, but a little more tightened up, so that's going to give Devin Singletary some more receptions out of the backfield. In half PPR, though, I'm still going to lean towards Singletary over Hunt. I know it's very close, but that's where I'm going to go. And at the quarterback position, he says Stroud or Lawrence. Stroud this week, I have him as quarterback number 3, and Lawrence comes in at quarterback 15. Lawrence's matchup's kind of tough against San Francisco. I think San Francisco gets right in this one. I know Jacksonville's been playing really strong the last month, but I think when San Francisco clicks, it's a different level, and we're going to see that coming out of the bye with Debo. Trent Williams just an hour ago said, I want to play. Like, he's questionable, and they're like, well, we're going to wait the game time decision. He's like, no, I want to play. So we should see Trent Williams playing this one. I'm going to go CJ Stroud, though, here, Big Meech. Appreciate the question. As always, here we go. Full PPR, start 3. Olave, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Tank Dell, Devontae Adams, Christian Watson. All right, so we start out with elimination first. Elimination is going to go Christian Watson. Tank Dell's in a situation today where he, of course, should be the most heavily targeted player in this offense. Let's see. Let me sort this quick. I think Devontae Adams, despite is how putrid it's been, I still have him as wide receiver 10 today. I have him 10, Olave 11, and Tank Dell 12, back to back to back. So technically that would be your 3 guys. Now, Tyler Lockett does have the number one matchup on the week, according to the RosterWatch matchup tool against Washington. Washington has been a sieve. So I would totally get it if you wanted to play Lockett over Adams, because I think it's more of a guarantee. I have Adams 10, Lockett 14. Like I said, Olave and Dell in between there. Adams, though, has a 28th matchup this week, which is bottom four, and Lockett has the best matchup of the week. So I could go Lockett, Olave, Dell. I'm going to go that direction for you today. Matt Cassidy, appreciate you for the question as always. B. Ollie says, are we going Trevor Lawrence today or Geno Smith? This is an interesting one. This is a great question. So Trevor Lawrence comes in today, like I said, quarterback 15, but due to the buys this week, you're seeing a lot of these quarterbacks kind of get moved up, right? Patrick Mahomes, Tua, Jalen Hurts, no Matthew Stafford. That's four big dudes that are all generally top 16 guys. So Trevor Lawrence is at 15 right now, and Geno Smith puts himself at number 10 overall. They're playing against the Washington Commanders this weekend. And I honestly, I think this is kind of a situation for the Seahawks where they're 5-3. They're just coming off of a complete dusting by the Baltimore Ravens, and they get the Commanders at home. I think this is one where it's just going to be a kind of a get right situation. They got Washington, the Rams before they obviously have the gauntlet of the Dallas Niners back to back later in November. So I think this is a get right game for Geno Smith, and kind of alluded to with our lock, I think a minute ago, it's going to be a good game for Seattle. So I'm going to go Geno Smith here over Trevor Lawrence. Appreciate you guys for answering the questions, asking the questions, as I'd say. Big Meech, half PPR. Are we going McLaughlin, Justice Hill, Josh Kelly, Latavius Murray? Pray for me. I'm assuming you need one guy out of this list here. So I'm going to see. Let's see. McLaughlin. I got him in the 30s somewhere. 41. Hill, of course, is dealing with a little bit of a Keaton Mitchell issue. Latavius Murray, got him at 46. He's got a great matchup against Denver, but we don't know what the utilization will look like for Leonard Fournette this week, so I'm kind of a little bit wavering on that one. And then the highest ranked player today, I do have Joshua Kelly as the highest ranked guy in here. So for me, it's between Kelly and McLaughlin. McLaughlin plays on Monday night. Kelly plays the Detroit Lions today, which is not a great matchup. I'm going to go I got to go Kelly just because he's proven that in games he can get that top 25, top 26 output, which is kind of what we're playing for right here. We're not playing for one of these guys to be the overall running back one. We're playing for somebody to give us a consistent output. And I think that Kelly versus McLaughlin is where I'm going to finish with it between these four guys. And I think I'm just going to lean towards Kelly because we've seen him do it for a longer period of time. And I trust the Chargers offense more than I trust the Denver offense. So Big Me, it's just a tough one. I'm praying for you. And I hope you can come through and get that big dub today. We got a question from Twitter here. It's PPR draft or PPR start one. Judy, James Cook, or Khalil Shakir. I have Josh Allen is the question. I'm going to go ahead and say Jerry Judy here. I know it's putrid to say, but I'm not playing Shakir. I'll tell you that's the bottom line. And James Cook is fine, but I'm going to go Jerry Judy. I think I like the matchup a little bit better. That's a good question from at Snoochie Boochie on Twitter, or on X, I should say, if that's the proper way to do it. All right, next question here on YouTube. In a PPR flex, Ridley, London, or even McBride. So McBride actually enters an interesting aspect to this one. Let's see, who would I have? McBride. Let me look here. He said Ridley, London, or McBride. So London's coming off of a bye, and they've talked about the main focus for Heineke has been, or his not his main focus, but his favorite target has been Kadero Hodge. And Kadero Hodge has been targeted, I think, 6 times and like 3 times. He's been targeted 9 times the last 2 games. We saw Jonnu get some work last week. We said these running backs should get a bounce back game today, both Algier and Bijan against Arizona. It's a juicy matchup. So I don't love playing London. I also don't hate it, but I think I want to play McBride out of these 3. I think I want to play. I'm gonna play McBride. Bueno. Good question. I'm gonna go McBride here. I think that Kyler's going to utilize him very much. JB Superflex, Burrow or Herbert. Burrow is playing without T. Higgins. And of course, today, just about an hour ago or 15 minutes ago, whatever it was, they came out and said Jamar Chase did his pregame workout and he's officially in today. So it should be Jamar Chase, at least on the outside. Tyler Boyd, Trenton Irwin, a little bit of Yossi Vosh, little Irv Smith action today. Joe Burrow's got a top 10 matchup on the matchup tool. I got him as quarterback too. Part of me wants to move him down a couple of spots with the potential of Chase being iffy, but I'm going to play Burrow. I have to play Burrow over Herbert. Herbert, I have quarterback 5 against Detroit. I just like the matchup a little bit better for Burrow, and there's a higher likelihood that the Detroit defense can limit Herbert than there is a likelihood that the Houston defense can limit Joe Burrow, if that makes sense. Good question there. Would you bench Burrow if Chase and Higgins don't go for Tank Dell or Kamara? No, I wouldn't. I would play Burrow. I'd play my guy. Ram, PPR, Mike Evans, Tank Dell, or Hopkins. Mike Evans, Tank Dell, or Hopkins. I'm going to go with Hopkins here. Hopkins is the number 2 matchup on the tool. He's my wide receiver 17 this week. As a composite, he's our wide receiver 12 at RosterWatch. We absolutely love the matchup, as well as you're talking about Will Levis playing against Tampa. Tampa gave up 470, of course, to C.J. Stroud last week. I do like Dell, but I'm going to lean into DeAndre Hopkins here. I also love Mike Evans, but I like Hopkins just a little bit more. All right, there's that. Go Jin, morning to you as well. I have Kincaid at tight end. Am I flexing Evan Ingram, Noah Brown, or Jaden Reed today? I am flexing Noah Brown today. I like Evan Ingram. I trust Evan Ingram. In half PPR, though, I'm going to go towards Noah Brown. I think you're talking about more upside there, and we saw it last week with C.J. Stroud trusting him down the field, and I'm going to go ahead and bank on him trusting him again down the field over Evan Ingram being a guy that's going to get 8, 9, 10 targets again, which we've seen, but just not on a consistent basis. And Jaden Reed, it's been wishy-washy all year. For me, I'm going Noah Brown. Good question. Go Jen, I appreciate you for jumping in the chat this morning. Big Meech, would you start both Kittle and Kincaid or substitute one of them for Flowers, Gabe Davis, or Njigba? Flowers has been killing me. Would you start Kittle and Kincaid or substitute one of them for Flowers? Honestly, I'm just going to play both tight ends. I got Kincaid as the tight end 3 this week, Kittle as a tight end 5. Both of these guys are lined up for good games. Kincaid, obviously, for clear reasons, number 1 matchup on the tool. He also has 26 targets the last 3 games. I can't remember which one, but he's been a top 7 tight end each of the last 3 weeks. He's going to continue to get peppered if Buffalo wants to win. And then Kittle, I have him tight end 5 this week against Jacksonville. This is just a game that draws. It just is like Kittle's name in cursive written all over this game. So I'm going to lean towards Kittle there. Over Flowers, over Davis. And Jig was close, but again, they're going to continue to target DK. So it's going to limit the upside for Njigba to this point. So I'm going to go Kittle plus Kincaid. Good question there. Bryce Ridley. Howdy. How you doing? Start 2, Adams, Ayuk, Kirk, or Deontay. Start 2. Well, first and foremost, like I said before, Adams is a top 10 guy for me, so he's right there at 10. I do have Ayuk a little bit further down because I just don't trust his side of it. I think he's going to match up against Darius Williams for a bit of this game, which I don't love. I do like Christian Kirk in this one. He is my wide receiver 15 this week, and Deontay Johnson comes in at wide receiver 13. So that means I'm going Adams and Deontay. I wish you could play Adams, Deontay, and Kirk, but if you can't, I'm just going to play Adams and Deontay. Great question. Oh, he says also Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper comes in at 18, so he's below Kirk for me. Appreciate the question, as always. Matt Cassidy, is Pierce droppable in PPR? All formats for that matter. What do we do with this guy? I don't think he's droppable because I think this offense is going to continue to be relevant. He's definitely annoying, that's for sure. But he's talked about it this year so far. This offense being like a second rookie season for himself, to where everything is coming kind of slow with Bobby Slowick, and I'm not worried about it. I think when he comes back and he's healthy, I think he's going to be just fine. I don't want to drop Dameon Pierce, not yet. Give me another Give me another 2 weeks. Give me another 2 weeks on Dameon Pierce. Let me look at his schedule here coming up. They have Cincinnati this week, Arizona, Jacksonville, Denver. Denver week 13 is a good matchup. And then it gets tougher with the Jets, Titans, Browns down the stretch. But I like the next 4 weeks. So if he can come back next week, that would be definitely nice. Ryan Kelly, center for the Colts, is officially out with a concussion for the rest of this game. That's his second concussion this year. Never want to see that. Do you think Ty Chandler is a stash? 100%. I talked about him on Undercovered Ops this week over on Patreon. I think Ty Chandler is he should be the one that steps into that Cam Akers role in that offense. And I'm not saying that's going to be what Cam Akers did, because again, the reason Cam Akers was a Viking was because Ty Chandler was not impressive. He's not a good practice player. He's a good game player, but he's not a good practice player. So that matters in the NFL, and that's why they brought in Cam Akers in the first place. So I think you're going to see some Ty Chandler. I also think you're going to see more CJ Ham. I also think you're going to see more of a focus just completely around running the ball, maybe with Joshua Dobbs, which we've seen his 66 yards last week was the third best by a single rusher for the Vikings this year. And last week was the most rushing yards they've had in a single game all season. So I trust the Vikings do the right thing and probably play some more Madison and just straight up run the ball more with Joshua Dobbs. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in, tapping. If you got any questions, make sure you drop them down there in the chat, and I'll get to those questions as well. Please click that like button, click subscribe to help us get up to 3K by the end of the season over here at Roster Watch. If you tapped in here, you tapped in now, you'll know that we're here live on Monday, Tuesdays as well for the top 10 thoughts and for the weekly waiver wire with Alex and Trashman. Appreciate you guys tapping in here. As always, G-Baby, he says, Brock Purdy or Josh Dobbs. Now, these are the real questions. Brock Purdy or Josh Dobbs. That's a real question right there. So Brock Purdy comes in right now. He's my quarterback 12. Dobbs is my quarterback 14. Dobbs' matchup is a little bit tougher. He's got a bottom 10 matchup against New Orleans this week indoors. Brock Purdy has the 13th ranked matchup outdoors in Jacksonville today. But again, I think I like the matchup better for Purdy down there in Jacksonville. I'm going to go Purdy here, despite I understand the rushing upside that Dobbs does present. I think Brock Purdy gets right in this one. He struggled the last month, and I think this is kind of a get right game, even though it is against Jacksonville. I'm going to go Purdy. Specialist 90 says Jerry Jeudy or Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers, of course, has Aiden O'Connell at quarterback, and Jerry Jeudy's coming off of a bye against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy here, simply because I just think that over the course of time, you're going to see Jerry Jeudy have better games and better games. The matchup for Jacoby is tough. So I talked about with Devontae Adams. It's a 28th ranked matchup against this Jets defense. And teams have responded well to interim coaches the first week, and the second week has never been as pretty as the first week. I think the Jets come in. The Jets have a little chip on their shoulder. They're trying to get right. They lost last week, and I think that you're going to see this defense really awaken, and I think it's going to limit the Raiders' offense mightily. I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy here in PPR. Back to G-Baby. He says Tank Dizzy or JSN. I got to go Tank Dizzy here. I love JSN, but just being the wide receiver one in this offense with C.J. Stroud this week with no Nico Collins, I have to go Tank Dizzy. Great question, G-Baby. The Smitty. Gotta get the drink out of my little ice here. Who knew that talking for an hour straight would make your throat dry? Two quarterback league. I'm starting Heineke, DK, Evans, Jacobs, Kamara, Laporta, and Ayuk in the quarterback flex spot. My opponent only has one quarterback this week as well. Should I play Tommy DeVito over Ayuk to play two quarterbacks? No. Tommy DeVito is our consensus bottom-ranked player, 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. From the projections, from the model, from Alex, from me, from Trashman, nah. We're out on Tommy DeVito. Tough matchup against the Dallas defense. There's a real chance. We saw in week one with Daniel Jones. They didn't score a point. There's a real chance they don't score a point today. I know they have Saquon. He looks healthy. There's a potential of him breaking one off, but that does not benefit Tommy DeVito in any way. I'm not I'm not ruling out Tommy DeVito. I'll just give me Brandon Ayuk, brother. Best of luck. And I love that you're playing Heineke. Heineke comes in this week surprisingly as the quarterback 9 for me. So I love that matchup against the against the Arizona Cardinals. So good luck today, Smitty. Please don't play Tommy DeVito. TMG 007, great name as always. I have Mark Andrews and Sammy Laporta. I was thinking of starting both with putting Laporta in my flex and full PPR, but I also have Joe Mixon. Oof. Oh. Let me check something here quick. Let's mix in. I don't want to tell you to like bench either of these tight ends because Laporta's literally my tight end 1 this week. Andrews is tight end 4. Andrews has the tougher matchup against Cleveland. Let me look at something quick. Mark Andrews. If I'm going to bench one of them, I'm probably going to bench Andrews of the 2. But earlier this season, he went 580 and 2 touchdowns against the Browns. I think you just roll with both of these guys. I think you roll with both tight ends. It sounds pukey, and I know it's like Joe Mixon. My cousin I was helping him the other day make a trade, and he was like, I'm just trying to get Joe Mixon off my team. And I could tell you the trade that he made. It's kind of a different league. It's a keeper league. And he traded away Joe Mixon because like the output for Joe Mixon has been he's on the same par, he's on the same course as Dalvin Cook was a year ago right now, where he looked fine, he looked good, he had a 1,000-yard season, but then you could just feel the tires falling off, and then the season did end, and he ended up obviously going to the Jets. Let's see, what was this Mixon deal? Joe Mixon and Jalen Petrie, who's a safety, for Logan Thomas and Tealona Hafanga. He also got back a 2nd and 3rd round pick in a keeper league. So he gave up Joe Mixon and Jalen Petrie. He got back Logan Thomas, Hufanga, a 2nd and 3rd in 2024 and then 2025 in a keeper league. So they keep 4 in that league. So that means it's going to be like a 6th and 7th round pick in a standard redraft. So I'm moving off Mixon right now. I don't love kind of the angle or what is left over the course of the rest of the season for Joe Mixon in the future. Coming off of a 14 for 37 game against Buffalo. He showed you 12 for 38 against Seattle. He did have a good game against the Niners, but it's just been very mediocre over the course of the entire season, and it hasn't really given us much of upside. So I'm going to go Laporta and Andrews, 2 guys that I can depend on getting 8+ targets in a game. JB says Mark Andrews, Trey McBride, or Taysom fucking Hill. Taysom Hill makes my balls hurt every single week because he's been a literal top 6 quarterback the last 4 weeks. And again, he doesn't play quarterback. He plays he plays everything. He plays running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, doesn't matter, everything. You have to play one guy here. Let's see where I'm at. I don't want to trust him. That's the thing is like I can't play him over Mark Andrews. I can play Taysom over McBride, but I can't play over Mark. I got to play Mark here. Got to play Mark Andrews. Can't get too cute. I understand the Taysom Hill correlation to them winning. When Taysom plays good and Taysom is utilized, they win. But when it's Kamara that's utilized and focused on, they lose. So I think they're going to try and focus on Taysom Hill like they do because nobody can really contain it. But you can't in fantasy football bet on that on a weekly basis over a guy like Mark Andrews. And to be honest with you, Trey McBride's entering that tier, and we're going to see this week if Kyler's going to continue to utilize him and elevate him as well. So I'm going to go with Mark Andrews here. Take the easy way out, I guess, on that question. Thank you, JB, for that one. Should I Z Smitty says, should I start Kittle or Schultz at the tight end position back-to-back in my ranks this week, or in our overall roster watch ranks this week, is George Kittle and Dalton Schultz. Schultz has the number 2 matchup at the tight end position this week. Kittle 14th. I talked about it. I love Kittle. I'm going to take Kittle between these two, but Schultz should have a solid game. So I think both these guys are lined up to have great Sundays, but I'm going to ride with Kittle for this one. G-Baby says, Trey McBride or Logan Thomas. I got Trey McBride. I actually have these guys back-to-back. Trey McBride 7, Logan Thomas 8. I think McBride has the better matchup. I think McBride has shown you over the course of the last few weeks that he can be continually trusted. He's averaging 4.4 targets per game over the season. And again, didn't get a lot of targets earlier with Zach Ertz in the games. So I'm going to trust Trey McBride and Kyler Murray to have that connection outside of Hollywood Brown. G-Baby again, he says rank half PPR, McBride, Logan Thomas, or Cade Otton. So like I just said, I got McBride 7, Logan Thomas 8, and then Otton comes in at tight end 19. He's got the 26th ranked matchup this week. Very tough one against the Tennessee Titans. Justin Joxa, RosterWatch Nation, what is up? Deep Dynasty, we start 3 receivers and 3 flexes. PPR need 1 between Odell Beckham, Josh Reynolds, Lenny, and Rico Dowdle. Cleanup duty. Oof. Just trying to tie the knot in the roster and get that last pukey play locked in. I think I'm going to go Josh Reynolds here. I like Odell Beckham, and he's giving you a little bit over the course of the last couple of weeks, but Donovan Peoples-Jones is dealing with an injury right now. Jameson hasn't done anything. They do get David Montgomery back. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown. Odell Beckham, though, playing against the Cleveland Browns. That's where I'm at. I'm between those two guys right now. I'm going to go Josh Reynolds here against the Chargers. Give me Josh Reynolds. Great question, Justin Joxa. Yo, Super CNB Challenger says, yo, T-Law, Sam Howell, or Brock Purdy this week. People ain't going to like this one. I got Sam Howell as my quarterback 6. I love me some Sam Howell this week. He's shown you that he is their franchise quarterback. If you're a Washington fan, you no longer have to search for a quarterback. They have the quarterback. It's time to start building around the quarterback. Sam Howell's that guy. He's over 380 yards passing and twice over the course of his first 10 career games, which last week was his 10th career game. It's only been Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Cam Newton, and C.J. Stroud to do that. So he's one of just those 5 guys. Sam Howell had a great start to his career despite being kind of overlooked because it's Washington. So I got Howell as quarterback 6 this week. And the other guys on this list were Purdy and T-Law. T-Law, we talked about being at quarterback 15, and I actually have Purdy at 12. So it goes Howell, Purdy, T-Law for me this week, and I'm playing Howell everywhere. Also, sit one, McLaurin, Metcalf, Olave, or Montgomery. Well, I'm playing Montgomery 100%, so that's for sure. So who are we going to sit out of McLaurin, Metcalf, or Olave? We're playing Olave. So it's between McLaurin and Metcalf. I'm going to bench McLaurin. I'm going to bench McLaurin here. Metcalf's got a great matchup against Washington. McLaurin's got a fine matchup, but we've just seen him play middle of the road all year. He hasn't had that top 12 game at all. He's been 18, 26, in that whole range where Metcalf has the upside to go up. He's been targeted enough to. One of those games is it's due to happen with Metcalf, so I'm going to ride with Metcalf. Great question. Wait, so that means who's the sit? The sit is McLaurin. Sorry, out of the 4. Sorry. Dylan Fink. Pick 1, tight end, full PPR. Musgrave versus Pitt. Chig against Tampa. Otton against Tennessee. Jawan against Minnesota. So process of elimination is Otton at against the Tennessee Titans. Jawan Johnson, number 2, against Minnesota. So it comes down to Chig versus Musgrave for me. Chig I have as tight end 11, Musgrave tight end 9. So I'm going to go with Musgrave against Pitt today. We've seen the positive comments from Jordan Love come out about Luke Musgrave. I think you're going to see that translate and continue to translate to the field today against Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins this game, so it's going to be more passing for Jordan Love, kind of in a little comeback mode type of a situation, so I like that as well. All right, so let's move on to – he's got another one. Dylan Fink's got a couple more here. Few start sit questions, all PPR, different leagues, few questions, all PPR. Start 1, Cook versus Hollywood Brown. Give me Hollywood Brown. Love that with Kyler Murray coming back. He's been targeted heavily with Murray in the lineup. Start 1, running back 1 flex. Ford, Singletary, or Flowers. I'm going to go Singletary and Flowers for that one, and 1 Q, one for that one. There you go. Start 1 tight end, 1 flex, Njoku, Noah Brown, Ferguson. Njoku, Noah Brown, Ferguson. Let's see, who's a tight end? I think I have Ferguson higher than Njoku this week. Yeah, we're gonna go Ferguson here, and then Noah Brown, and then start 1 flex, Shakir or Algier. I'm gonna go Algier. also made a trade. Also traded Flowers, Goddard, Otten for Kmet, James Conner. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't love it. I don't mind it because Goddard's hurt. Otten hasn't really given us much. Kmet's shown he can be there. Flowers has been kind of disappointing. He's been solid, but disappointing. James Conner could be a league winner. So I like that move. Good job, Dylan. Lost Goddard. Yep. 12 team PPR Stroud Fields. Yeah, I like that. I like that. You got CMC, and now you got a tight end to fill in, and you got James Conner. Good work there. I like that. Matt Cassidy, full PPR, Mike Evans or Tank Dizzy. Mike Evans or Tank Dizzy. Mike Evans is going to have a big week this week against Tennessee. Let's go Mike Evans. Big Meech, full PPR, Kelvin Ridley or James Cook. Let's see. I'm going to check in on Trashman. Let's check out Trashman's flex rankings and see where he got him. He's got Cook at 32, and he's got Ridley at 49. So Trashman, you can check out his flex rankings over at RosterWatch.com. You go to the pro section. You can subscribe. It's literally $9.99 a month. Come on, man. Couldn't be cheaper. He's got James Cook at 32 on his flex rankings this week. His flex rankings go all the way down to the top 200, all the way down to Keyshawn Vaughn. So go check that out. James Cook is the answer, though. Let's go that direction here. Kyle Singer, Ferguson or McBride, full PPR, and Irwin or Shakir or Michael Thomas, full PPR. Pick one, tight end, one wide receiver. Thank you. So he starts out first and foremost with Ferguson and McBride. We're going to go McBride here. We talked about that with the connection there and potential with Kyler Murray. Irwin or Shakir or Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, this is a weird one. You think the brick through the windshield situation is going to elevate or limit Michael Thomas? Is he going to get a team suspension and not play for the first quarter? Or is he going to come out pants on fire and go 6 targets in the first drive? I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about the Michael Thomas situation. They say he's going to play. I don't know if I want to trust that or not. Shakir, on the other hand, I'm not a Shakir guy. I'm not going to trust and act like I'm not going to sit here and act like I trust Khalil Shakir. I would rather play Trenton Irwin, if I'm being honest with you, but he's more of a floor play than anything. I think I'm just going to stick with my man, Michael Thomas here. I'm going to bet on him not getting a first quarter suspension and him playing. Sam Howell, Will Levis, Joshua Dobbs, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. You either got way too many quarterbacks on your roster or these guys are all free agents, which I'm hoping they're just all free agents. I'm going to go Sam Howell, though. I talked about him. That's my man this week. He's sitting up there by himself in the top 10. He is my quarterback number 6 right now. Will Levis sitting there at quarterback 8. Got another good matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The next one after that goes down to Kyler Murray at quarterback 11, and then Carr at quarterback 13, Dobbs quarterback 14. So I'm going to go with Sam Howell here. Great question, Inflective 2K. Appreciate you for tapping in here. As always, Nuke. Are we going Kittle or Kincaid for tight end? Or put one in flex. Currently have Addison at flex. Play Addison first and foremost, and then play Kincaid. Kincaid's a guarantee. Kittle has upside, but he also has bust ability. Full PPR, London, Dobbs, or Gabe Davis. I'm going to go ahead and ride with, I think I got Romeo Dobbs the highest. You caught me. You caught me in a Dobbs right here. Yeah, we're going to go. No, I got London there. I was going to say, where's London? I got London. 24, Dobbs 29. Give me London. Yeah. Good luck, Big Meech. Appreciate you. Stephen Grease, need to pick 2 in a full PPR league. Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton, Devin Singletary, Jacoby Myers. Should I drop Tyler Bass this week? Folk, McLaughlin, Group A are a few that are available. I would hold. I don't want to drop Bass. I like Groupie in Minnesota this week. I do like that for this week anyways. But I don't know if I want to drop him. Need to pick 2 in a full PPR. Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton, Devin Singletary, Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go Devontae Adams and Devin Singletary here. Good question. Good luck, Stephen Grease. I don't want to drop Bass, but if you have to, I go Groupie. Leonard Plank, regardless, cool name. The third, Godwin, Ford, or Dotson. 1 PPR, 2 running back, 2 flex. Sorry, 2 running back, 2 receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight. Godwin, Ford, or Dotson. I'm going to go Godwin here. Best of luck this week. Leonard. Smashing the like and subscribe button. Thank you as always, brother G baby. Appreciate you for smashing that damn like button, smashing that subscribe button as always here on YouTube. We'll be live again tomorrow for top 10 thoughts, as well as Tuesday for the waiver wire show with Alex and the Trashman. Also tonight at about 8:20, right when that Sunday Night Football game kicks off, myself and my main man Matty Q will be live on the YouTube channel. The executives of fantasy football, will be live, and we'll be casting. We'll be doing a watch along for Sunday Night Football tonight. So tap in over there if you want to come over and hang out and watch us drop some F-bombs, talk some shit, chat with you in the chat, and just straight up hang out and watch Sunday Night Football. Come on over there to the executives of fantasy football. Nuke says Cleveland defense or Seattle. Cleveland defense or Seattle. I'm going to go Cleveland. I'm going to go Cleveland against Baltimore. Big Meech, Sam Howell or Kyler Murray. I'm going to go Sam Howell. One more question, then we'll get to the inactives for the day. Ron Duffney, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Johnson Robinson back in the chat. Yo. No questions today. Just wanted to say thanks for what you do. Johnson Robinson, I appreciate you as always for tuning in and tapping in every goddamn Sunday. G baby, Purdy, Geno Smith, or Levis? We're going Uncle Bill, Uncle Will, Mr. Levis here. Great question as always. All right, let's go back over to Twitter quickly. And let's type in inactives and let's see what the official inactives are for the 1 p.m. slate. Trent Williams is officially active with his brethren Deebo Samuel. Inactives for the San Francisco 49ers include Tyrion Davis-Price, the running back. For the Packers today, Quay Walker is out. Jair Alexander is out. Samori Torres out. Brenton Cox is out. Big for the Packers, though, today. We already, if you're tapped in over on patreon.com/executives, we're hitting at a 62.5% rate for the best bets of the week all year. This year, we got over 120 bets in there, hitting at a 62% rate right now. The Steelers are one of the best bets this week against the Packers. So you see it now. Jair and Quay Walker are already listed inactive for this one. So that's massive for the likes of Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Steelers on the other side, Darius Rush is inactive, the rookie corner/safety, as well as Minkah Fitzpatrick and Montravius Adams, 2 defenders. For the Jaguars today, Zay Jones has been officially listed out. That was yesterday that came out. For the Vikings against the Saints today, there will be no KJ Osborne. He was questionable. I thought he was going to play. He had a DNP, he had a limited, and then he had a full practice yesterday, Friday, and KJ Osborne is officially listed as inactive. So that means, again, no Jefferson, no KJ. So not only are we flexing in some Brendan Powell, but we're also going to be flexing. I don't want to say this. You're not going to be flexing in Tristan Jackson, but I've had some people on here already ask questions about, deep league. What was the last one on here? That was like deep dynasty league. And you're starting some putrid players. This one right here. This question, Odell Beckham, Josh Reynolds, Lenny, or Dowdle. Like that's literally borderline a Tristan Jackson type of a situation. So just keep your eyes peeled for Mr. Tristan Jackson for the Vikings this week and see what he does. If you're in those deep dynasty leagues and you just want to add somebody, if you got some roster fodder, Tristan Jackson, Triston Jackson for the Minnesota Vikings is going to be that third wide receiver today outside of Brandon Powell. But it's going to be a big one for TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison. Ravens inactives today. Tylan Wallace, Morgan Moses, the right tackle, Jalen Armour-Davis, the cornerback, is sick. And Marlon Humphrey and Keaton Mitchell are officially active. That's massive. For the Browns this week, no David Bell, no Ronnie Hickman, no David Bell, though. No DeJuan Jones, the right tackle, no Siaki Ika on the defensive line, no Marquise Goodwin. So you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to Cedric Tillman in this one. Be ready to play Elijah Moore. I don't love the matchups for any of these guys. They did activate Austin Watkins, the second-year guy out of UAB, Alabama Birmingham. He is cousins with the one and only Sammy Watkins, is Austin Watkins. So that's another roster fodder guy. If you're in those deep dynasty leagues and you maybe have a spot for a Tristan Jackson, you may also have a spot for an Austin Watkins just to see what he does. If he gets routes or anything, you score a touchdown, all of a sudden that guy starts to have a little bit of value, and then he gets more opportunities, and you know how the damn thing goes. That's why you play dynasty. So those are a couple of roster fodder guys. Jacksonville today, we already talked about Zay Jones. Houston's on here. No Brevin Jordan. We already know about Nico Collins. No Damian Pierce. On the defensive side of the football, no Henry Te'o, and no Jimmy Ward. For the Bengals, it's officially no T. Higgins, no Jackson Carman at tackle, and no Sam Hubbard on the defensive line. For the Tennessee Titans today, we will not be seeing Ryan Tannehill in a jersey. We will not be seeing Treylon Burks playing. No Sean Murphy-Bunting on the cornerback position. No Colton Dowell at wide receiver. So that's going to be more Kyle Phillips. It's going to be more Nick Westbrook-Akine. And then the only two quarterbacks that are going to be active are Will Levis and Malik Willis. So that's an interesting one as well. All right, let's get back to the questions here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys all tapping in here. We'll answer all these bad boys, and then we'll get on out of here. Grant Witzcraft, single QB, 12-team, Kyler Murray, Will Levis, or Brock Purdy. We're going to go Will Levis here. And then I think right below him is Brock Purdy. So we're going to go Will Levis first and foremost. Full PPR, Tyler Lockett or Tank Dell. I'm going to go Tyler. Wait. I think these guys are like back-to-back. I'm going to go Tank Dell. I got Tyler Lockett and Tank Dell back-to-back. Tank Dell number 12, Lockett number 14. Tank Dell should be the alpha in this offense for targets today with C.J. Stroud. Half PPR at 0.2 points per carry. Should I go James Cook, Madison, or Jacoby Myers? Thanks, a dog. I'm going to go Alexander Madison here. 0.2 points per carry is going to be the kind of the leaner for me in this one. James Cook is also not the biggest half PPR guy for me. So I'm going to go Madison here. Good question there. Franz, as always, appreciate you, big dog. Douglas Sears, morning man, need one of Christian Watson, Jerry Jeudy, JSN, and one of Otten or Jonnu. Tight end, we're going to go Jonnu over Otten. At wide receiver, Watson, Jeudy, or JSN. I'm going to go with Watson. Appreciate the question, as always. Leonard Plank back here again. Do you care? Godwin has an illness. I don't. He's active. I like him. That's all I worry about. If he's active, I'm in on Godwin. Tennessee Titans today, good matchup. I like Godwin, point blank. Baker or Kyler at the quarterback position from Rochita. I don't know what that is. I like that, though. That's a weird name. Rochita. Baker or Kyler at the quarterback position today. I got Kyler, quarterback 11. I'm going to ride with Kyler today against the Atlanta Falcons in his comeback game. I don't know. It's going to be one of the most interesting things I'm looking forward to today is what Kyler is going to look like. Daniel says, do I start Lamar since he almost dropped 30 when he played the Browns, or do I start Herbert? I think you start Lamar. I got these guys back-to-back in the ranks. I'm going to go Lamar here against the Browns. This team's been hot. Look for them to stay hot. Do you think Chase will get points or just be a decoy? Again, I feel like he should be a decoy, but I'm not going to bet against Chase like that. So I'm not going to call him a decoy. I would bet on him getting between 4 and 6 targets. I don't think they're going to be valuable targets outside of a potential red zone target. I could see him scoring a touchdown, but I don't see him being utilized between the 20s very much. We are a nation at RosterWatch.com. Scott Komet, I appreciate you for tapping in here. Inflective 2K. Looks like this is the last question on here before we get out on this beautiful Sunday. Set our lineups. Enjoy us some god dang football. What's the score of this game right now? 7-6. In the fourth quarter with 9 minutes to go. Gardner Minshew, 16 for 26, 157 and a pick. Michael Pittman, 7 for 75. Taylor is 19 carries for 61. Stevenson, 16 carries for 76. Mac Jones, 12 for 15, 129. Demario Douglas hasn't caught a pass in the second half. 7-6 with under 9 minutes to go. What a putrid fucking game. Inflective 2K, McLaurin, Ridley, or Kirk. Again, this is another one of those back-to-back ones. I think Kirk and McLaurin are back-to-back in the ranks. Let me find this quick. Kirk right here, McLaurin right here. Kirk is actually Kirk's about 6 spots higher than McLaurin is. So I'm going to go ahead and ride with Christian Kirk in this one. Great question, Inflective 2K. Matt Cassidy, appreciate you as always, Matt Cassidy, for tapping in. Leonard Plank, appreciate you as well. Josh Bonino, Devontae Adams, or Marquise Brown. Let's go, Marquise Brown. We've seen the games with Kyler Murray. Marquise Brown is peppered, and I think you're only going to see that again today. Marquise Brown gets right, has a big game in 2023 right here. Last question, Charlie Emmert, PPR, bench 1. Bench. I don't want to bench any of these, dude. I don't want to bench Debo. I'm not going to bench Montgomery. Lockett's got a great matchup. And then we come down to Saquon versus Aaron Jones. And, of course, Saquon is pulling the freaking Dallas Cowboys today. Aaron Jones gets Pittsburgh. Bench Aaron Jones, brother. Bench Aaron Jones. That's going to bite me in the ass, but I'm going to say bench Aaron Jones. We're going to play Montgomery. We're going to play Saquon. We're going to play Lockett. We're going to play Debo Samuel. I'm Cody Carpentier. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in and tapping in on this beautiful Sunday. This has been Roster Watch. This has been Watching Rosters. Tap in every single Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time here on YouTube for a start-sit campaign that we go through. Mondays will be live with the top 10 thoughts myself, and then Tuesdays will be the waiver wire with Alex Dunlap and the Trashman. For anything else, going over to rosterwatch.com, you can ask your questions underneath any of the articles over there, and that question will be answered over the course of the next hour and 10 minutes before kickoff. I appreciate you guys all. Please click that like button and click subscribe on your way out. Please, 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 please. That's all we ask for. It's free. Click that like button for free. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you next Sunday. I appreciate these guys that come in last minute. I appreciate this right here. Cone, always, never leave a question unturned. Cone, need some quick advice. Tank Dell or Chris Olave. Cone, I'm here for people like you that come in. Just get it in there. Chris Olave or Tank Dell. The answer is, always was, and has been Chris Olave.